Hello everyone and welcome to this three-part series where we're going to go through things to do and things to help you as a brand new player in RuneScape. As you can see, we've just left Tutorial Island and landed in Burnthorpe on my free-to-play character. The first part of this three-part series will be to go through the skills and give you some sort of direction to aspire to in the world of Gielinor. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I've heard a lot of people say that they load up RuneScape, they sign in, and they think, I have no idea what to do. Nothing feels very intuitive as far as what's on my screen and where to go. So we're going to answer some of those things today, and hopefully this helps new players return or start in RuneScape. So without further ado, one of the most key things in RuneScape will be your interface. Now, I know a lot of RuneScapers and content creators talk about this, but it's absolutely true. The interface, as you can see right here, has tried to be as minimalistic as possible for you. The reason being is they do not want to clutter your screen with too many things. However, there's a lot of things in RuneScape. So what people tend to do is find a way to show the most necessary and the most important things of the interface at the same time. So here we go. What you're going to do is you're going to press escape. You're going to go to edit layout mode. What this will allow you to do is pick up and drag any box you wish and resize, etc. So the first things first, as you can see here, we've got a backpack and worn equipment next to each other. If you click and drag, you'll see here that you can start playing around with the backpack, the worn equipment, the skills. Maybe you even want your prayers up here as well. It will snap for you as well if you're close to another box. If I press save and exit now, you'll notice already that actually I've got way more visibility. I've now got my magic spells, my backpack, my worn equipment, and my prayers list all down here. Now, this is really, really useful because obviously before, if you remember, we had the worn equipment inside this box and the prayers inside this box. Now, if I save and exit that, you'll see the difference. So now, if I want to see my inventory, I have to select this. If I want to see my backpack, I have to see this. My apologies. If I want to see my equipment, it's here. My backpack is here. So having the ability to separate those two and make it so that you can see both is absolutely crucial. Now, you can do this with absolutely anything that's down on this list down here. So maybe you also want your skills, as you can see here, lined up as well. So you want to be able to see your skills, your overall combat level, your total level, as well as your inventory, your backpack. As you can see, we can already see quite the improvement by having our skills, worn equipment, backpack, and anything you wish available to you at all times. Now, for example, this chat box down here is quite small. So if I go again to edit layout mode, we can now click and drag the box of the chat. As you can see, you can make this as large or small as you want. You can even start grabbing other chat boxes if you wish. So now you've got a box for your private chat and your friends chat. Maybe that's what you want. Now, I'll be honest, that looks slightly cluttered on my screen, but everybody has their own technique or style of doing things. So for me, if I don't want it there, I'm just going to pop it back there. You see, I can just click and drag and it will hold its position as it was before. So that's the basics of showing and laying out your actual interface icons and options. However, there's also another option here in the settings menu. So if you press escape, go to settings, go to interface and go to appearance. Under appearance here, you have the ability to select slim headers, which, as you can see, will remove the labels. So skills, worn equipment, backpack, if you see down here, if I tick that box, they disappear, thus giving you a little bit more space to play with. However, if you're new and you want to know what these are called, absolutely leave them on. The next important thing will be the transparency. If I move this all the way down, you'll see that these become a solid color. Now, this makes things easier to see, but it will clog up your screen. But everybody has their own playstyle. Some people like to completely clog up all of the bottom tier down here and up the side so that their gaming window is in the middle. But if you have transparent, you can even set it fully transparent, in which case they are still there, but you know, you can see behind the screen as well as the icons. Now, most people leave it on default, but This is just to show you that you have the ability to play with whatever you want when it comes to your interface. The interface is completely, fully customizable. So if you want to have a play and make things easier on yourself, please do so. So finally, the last two things that we want to touch on before we leave the interface options are, if you press escape, edit layout mode, you have the ability to change your minimap size. Now, if you wish, you can make it pretty damn huge, but that's a little bit inconvenient. But this is about the average size it gives you. So maybe you want it just a little bit bigger. So there you have it. You can now move your minimap to any size that you wish it to be. Of course, things like the timestamp up here is in the way. You can move that too. Maybe you want that sitting just here in a tight little cubby hole. Beautiful. Pop that back up there. Save and exit. Now, before we save and exit, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to select Save Loadout. And we can save that to any of these that we wish. So, are you sure you wish to save over my custom 2 with your loadout? Yes. Save and exit. Done. Now, every single time you want to change your loadout, your custom 2 loadout is saved as the one we currently have on. So saving your loadout is absolutely crucial. If you do decide to have a play and you think, actually, that's not for me, do consider saving your loadouts, just because you don't want to lose the progress you've made when laying out everything on your screen. Keep in mind, this applies to things that we're currently not playing with, okay? So if you find that you've got new skills or action bars, those things are also maneuverable as well. In my case, they would sit somewhere in this box in the middle between our skills and our chat. But that's for me personally. That is not a rule. There are no rules when it comes to the interface. Please, by all means, do what you consider to be the best. As you can see, if I maximize this, I can just pop that there, and now I can see my skills. Now, once I get all my action bars, I can have them all underneath each other, and I can have multiple of them accessible. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what to do when it comes to your interface and how your appearance looks. As long as you're happy with what you've got set up, we can move on to the next step. Maybe you are happy with the original, but I personally think that these will help you understand and see things clearer as you play the game. So now that we have done our interface options, it's time to move on to the activity tracker. The activity tracker is also known as paths, P-A-T-H-S. So if you press escape, go to adventures, and on the right hand side you have an activity tracker. From here you can go to paths, and it will show you all the other accessible options you have when it comes to your path. From the drop down box here, you can select what path you wish to do. And down here, you have the ability to clear your path. Now, notice, we have these flashing things towards Tyrael on our screen right now. If we click clear path, they disappear. Now, as you can see on the right hand side, it also shows you the rewards you get for doing these paths. 5 gold coins, 10 gold coins, etc. So now that we've cleared our path, we now have full autonomy to do whatever we want in the world of RuneScape. So, those are your two options when starting out. You can either choose a path and they will continue to develop. As you can see, it says 0 of 3. So if you want to do this, this will lead you to multiple different areas as you see fit. So you'll complete one objective and it will find another one for you. These will introduce you to the fundamentals and the core base of RuneScape. When it comes to killing things, chopping down trees, fire making to burn the logs, cooking the food on the logs, etc. You have many, many different options when it comes to the path, and they will teach you the core basis of RuneScape. Now, there is no right answer to this. If you want to dive in headfirst into the world of RuneScape, by all means do so. Once you've got rid of the flashing light on your screen, you actually feel like you have some freedom. Now, understanding what the skills do is absolutely crucial. If you do not want to follow the path, it will not touch on every single skill. So why not introduce you to what those skills do in a very, very basic, fundamental way so that you can set out your goals and what you'd like to achieve when playing the game. Right then everyone, so when it comes to skills, a lot of them are very self-explanatory by name. However, some of them are a little bit confusing, and I want you guys to have an idea of the core skills for you to delve into when it comes to starting out in RuneScape. So for example, you've got your main combat stats, which are attack and strength. Attack will increase your ability to wear higher tier melee armor, so like sword and shield, battle axes, dual wielding weapons, things like that. And strength will allow you to hit harder with those weapons. Your defense will allow you to wear stronger and stronger armor, thus reducing the amount of damage you take or the ability to be hit. Ranged is your crossbow and bow and arrow, and magic is your spells. Now, we do have necromancy, but it's a member skill, and this is a free-to-play guide, so we're not going to run through that today. So those are your basic combat stats. However, you also have stats like fishing, cooking, smithing, mining. These are things that you learn in the tutorial island, which will absolutely help you when it comes to starting out in RuneScape. For example, if you want to go and start killing a bunch of these rabbits, say, and you find them doing a bunch of damage to you, you want to have food, for example, these shrimps in my inventory, that will heal me. As you can see, if I hover over it, heals 200 health. My overall health is 1,000, so that's actually pretty good food for my level. But if I don't want to go and buy that food, because it will cost me money, and I don't have money, or I'm unwilling to spend that money, I can go fishing. So if I go fishing down here, for example, which is just south of where we were, if you just follow this line straight down, you'll see that you've got fishing spots. Now, if I left click this and go to cage fishing spot, I can then start catching fish. These are raw crayfish. For example, I can go and click on this tree to wood cut the tree down. I can then light the log, and then I can use the crayfish on the fire, and I'll have the option to cook them. And we leveled our cooking. I'm going to continue there. Try and cook the other one. Can we do it successfully? No, we can't. Okay, so there's an example. So we caught 2 crayfish. We cut down this log. We burnt the log, and then we cooked. So right there, we did cooking, fishing, fire making, and wood cutting all in one go. Now, the higher you get your wood cutting, the higher tier tree you can chop down. For example, if I go to the oak tree just here, I can't chop it down because I need a wood cutting level of 10, which is indicated nice and clearly on your screen. Also, you may have noticed when I cooked my crayfish, I had 1 successfully cooked, but 1 burnt. Now, your ability to burn them is reduced the higher you get your cooking level. Also, you get access to cook higher tier food so that you can heal for more. So the skills are absolutely fundamental in RuneScape, and that is a very good idea or a good example of a core skill. Next up, we're just going to have a very brief look at mining and smithing, which will allow you to mine your ore, smelt it down, and craft it into weapons and armor for you to improve your combat ability. So this is a mine right here. If we go into the mine, we can clearly see that there are copper rocks and tin rocks, which you saw in the tutorial to make bronze armor and weapons. Once you've smelted those down, you will then have the ability to click on an anvil or go to the heat forge, make the bar of your choice, and as you can see in the list here, you have a full helm, a medium helm, plate legs, plate skirt, plate body, things like that. Down here you've got war hammers, battle axes, hatchets, two-handed swords, claws, scimitars. There are many, many, many weapons and armor choices in RuneScape. The list goes on and on and on. But this is an idea for somebody starting out in RuneScape. If you want to at least start, I would recommend starting off by at least making your own full set of armor and weapons so that you get that sense of accomplishment and a core basic of how you start off in the world of Gillinor. Hopefully that gives you an idea of a fundamental start to your RuneScape journey. This is only a guide to get you started. It's not a full guide on how to do everything. If you do want guides on skills specifically, let me know in the comments down below. And lastly, the next thing I think that might help you give an idea of what you want to do in the world of RuneScape when you start out will be quests. So if you press escape, go to adventures, and then click on the quest tab along the top, you have the ability to see all of these quests. Now mine is arranged alphabetically, but you can choose to arrange them by free and members if you wish. So you can see all the free to play quests and mini quests and members quests that are available to you at the moment. Now this is not a full list of all the quests. These are just the ones that I can physically see right now with my current stats and my current availability with what I've done so far. Quests in RuneScape are completely unique compared to most other MMORPGs. For example, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, Elder Scrolls, go and kill 10 of this enemy. That doesn't exist in the world of RuneScape. They are actual quests. Now, if you wish to do this, I will leave a link in the description down below to the Rune Wiki, where you can search for a quest and it will give you a complete guide on how to complete it. They are very, very different. And it will also, if you click on one, for example, if I go to the blood pact, I can see the required items are none. The length is short. Must be able to defeat 3 low-level enemies. And it will also show you the rewards. Very, very different style when it comes to quests, but these can boost your stats, give you access to very, very powerful armors, items, and skills, which will help you in your journey in the long run. A lot of people do like questing entirely on its own. People like to go and do quests just for the sense of completion, and some of the quests bounce off the back of each other. For example, I might complete one, and it gives me another continuation of that story, which is actually really, really exciting. So, if you wish to delve into quests, I strongly recommend that you do, because they unlock a whole new gameplay style or gameplay loop of the game for you to enjoy, and I think you might end up having a lot of fun angling towards that. Now, we're going to end this part 1 here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe button. If you would like to see a part 2 and a part 3 for you guys starting out in the world of Gielinor, do let me know, because it's very, very crucial, I think, to help out the new player base when it comes to RuneScape, because certain things are just a little bit too overwhelming to a new player. So, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.